So we're at the British Science Festival here in Bradford, and I have stumbled across Rafael, who is leading a project with the University of Oxford on genetics. So do you want to tell us about it? It sounds really interesting.
I think it is really interesting. So we're from the University of Oxford and we're conducting an experiment to see if there's a genetic component to people's ability to make friends and socialize and form relationships. So genes are essentially the building blocks of life. They make us who we are. They're like the Lego blocks that get them together to make us all look different and act different. So we're trying to see if there are certain genes that are responsible for people's ability to form friendships. And some people have really large friendship groups that they don't know very well. Some people only have a few friends, but they're very deep and intimate relationships. So we're trying to figure out if there's a genetic component to all those differences in people.
And has research like this been done before, or is this a new thing that you're doing?
So typically genetics research is done on physical appearance traits, but very recently we found out that also genes are responsible for how people behave. So genes create all of who we are, including our brains, and different genes create different brains, and different brains act in different ways. And so the behavioral aspect of genetics is a fairly recent thing that we can do with the new sort of genetic technology.
Okay, cool. And how did you get into genetics? Like, what's your background? How did you get into science? What inspired you? That kind of thing.
So my background is I used to be a traveler. I used to be a travel writer, and I used to travel around the world looking at all these different cultures, thinking, wow, they're so amazing and different and unique. But at the same time, the more I traveled, the more I realized that actually, even with all these differences, there are so many similarities. And so that got me interested in sort of human evolution and how we are more similar than anything else, and how a lot of our behaviors have evolved to help us survive. And those evolved behaviors haven't really changed in the last 500,000 years. And so I study the evolution of human behavior, and part of that is the behavior of making friends and forming social networks, which every single culture in the world does.